Welcome everybody to another episode of the Dragoncast. My name is Brian Daniels, and where's my podcast partner Grindbat? He's not over there. What the? Where's Victor at? Hold on. Uh-oh.
Oompa doopity doo. I got a something for you. Oompa doopity doo. Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, Brian?
What's going on, y'all? So
as you can see,
this is our Halloween special, and thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here during the show. And if you couldn't tell already, Victor's an Oompa Loompa. And I have just a really bad haircut. That's all my problem is. Anyway,
T-Rex has got to go visit the dentist, man. Get those teeth straightened out, man.
Right,
you know.
But anyway, we're gonna be talking all about on this episode of the Dragoncast our favorite, everything from Halloween, like candy, memories, movies.
Like everything, the whole experience from Halloween,
the whole 9 yards. But Victor, before we get into that, we got to talk about something that unfortunately almost all of us woke up to yesterday morning. That was the passing of the legendary Sir Sean Connery.
Yeah, man, that sucks, dude.
He passed away at the age of 90. I knew he was. I knew he
was up there. Yeah.
And for those who've been living under a rock your whole entire life and don't know who that is, he's well known as James Bond. He was the first James Bond in Ian Fleming's story and films, and he started what would be a movie tradition of many other men that would go on to play as James Bond after him. And then, of course, he was Quartermain in The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. If you haven't seen that movie, that is also a really great movie. He was in King Arthur, for those who didn't know that.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was also in a movie called The Rock with Nicolas Cage. It's a great movie.
Great movie.
And he's done a lot of other great films and work as well. And he unfortunately, he was knighted, that's the surname. So he was officially knighted several years ago. And he has since passed away yesterday. And man, what a insane loss!
What a year, man!
This year, man. It's been crazy, man.
It's crazy, man. He's a legend in the movie industry, and I'm actually just taking a quick peek at the news to see what was going on. Turns out he was suffering from dementia for many years.
He had dementia. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know that either. It looks like that's what was going on. Maybe that's what may have caused, what's going on with him later on in life. But I mean, 90 years is no joke. He had a wonderful life. He
really did.
Much joy and entertainment to millions of people. And I'm glad to be living in this age where movies is a big thing, and he was a big part of that. So, Sean Connery, man, will be missed. I'm sure that, movie legends everywhere aspire to be just like him. So it sucks, dude, but it looks like it was some kind of sickness. I haven't looked into the details, so I'm not going to speak too much of that. But yeah, I do see that his widow, is saying he was suffering from dementia.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. But we all get older, and there's just some things that we can't help with old age, and but yeah, he had a full life. He had a hell of a career. He was absolutely well respected in the movie industry by pretty much everybody around him. Yeah, I mean, he had a legendary voice too. You can't,
Oh yeah, and there's no mistaking it, man. You knew exactly who that was when you heard it.
Yeah, and I remember the first James Bond movie I ever saw was From Russia with Love, which I believe is the second James Bond movie after Dr. No. And I'll tell you one thing I used to really love doing, Victor, every year. They used to have it on TBS. They had like a 24 hours of Bond marathon.
Yeah, that's right.
And I used to watch.
Do they still have that?
I don't know. I don't have cable or anything, so I have no idea if they do that
man, I'm not so sure if they still got that.
But yeah, they used to do that all the time.
I remember that.
And I used to watch all that all the time. But yeah, he was my introduction to James Bond, man. And so yeah, but such a terrible loss.
Yeah, and, big loss.
Our thoughts are with his family and his friends and and those who are also close to him. However, let's move on after that and get right into our conversation of this episode, which is Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday. And I'll tell you why it's my favorite holiday. A lot of people's favorite holiday is Christmas. That's not my favorite holiday. But I've always loved Halloween, Victor. It's a time of year when you don't have to be yourself. You can be whatever you want, whoever you want, dress however you want, and it tends to be the holiday of the year where people come together and have the most fun.
Yeah.
As opposed to as opposed to Christmas, because Christmas is the bane of existence for everybody. It's like it's a shopping holiday. People tend to get really rude and do some pretty vile things. It sucks that it has become that.
It gets that way, yeah.
And or it gets that way. It's not like that all the time, but people will punch somebody over an Elmo doll. It's just stupid,
Yeah, we've had many crazy stories about toys and whatnot, that hot item, throughout the years that people just, don't behave. Mm-hmm. And it sucks. And I completely agree with you in regards to the Halloween, man. When Halloween comes around, you see people having fun, they're messing around, they're like, oh man, what are you gonna be for Halloween? Let's do this, let's do that. What I've noticed more in recent trends is that there's more of a party type atmosphere, as opposed to when we were kids, we were out, or maybe it was like that too, but our focus was different. Our focus was more along the lines of, I need a candy bag and I want to see what the biggest candy bag I can get, where's those full-size chocolate bars? Because that's where I'm going.
Dude, right?
But I mean, it's one of the times of the year where people start to get dressed, they start to let loose a little bit. I think I've always seen Halloween as a great stress reducer. I mean, the whole year you're stressed out over work, whatever the hell. And then come Halloween time, you just let loose, have a good time, have fun. And right before Thanksgiving and right before, Christmas, because Christmas is stressful. As much as it's supposed to be a jolly holiday, that shit is stressful. Mm-hmm. So you gotta let loose, man. You gotta have fun.
Yeah.
You gotta put on a mask and just, just take it easy, man.
Yeah. To me, it's kind of always been like, because now we're in the quarter of the year where everything is it's the holiday time, right? We got we have Halloween, and then we're gonna have Thanksgiving, and then we're gonna have Christmas. 3 months in a row, each have a holiday.
Yeah.
And I kind of like to look at it like this. It's kind of like easy, medium, and hard difficulty. So like, Halloween's easy because everybody's having fun. We're all eating candy, partying. Thanksgiving's like, you got to hang out with your family, which for some, that's kind of...
yeah, right. That could be a touchy subject for some.
And then Christmas is like, you're going to get somebody mad, whether it's your kid mad at you for not buying them what they wanted for Christmas. People are going to try to trample you and shit over stupid stuff for Christmas. You get me? So like,
well, nowadays there's going to be websites locked out, or you can't get into Amazon because whatever,
Yeah, man.
It's going to be overload, bandwidth overload this holiday season. I'm sure of it.
Oh man,
it's stressful, man, and I get it, and I see that.
It's a super stressful time of year, but thankfully, we're not there yet. But Halloween, man, I have so many good memories of Halloween. I can't really think of any bad memories of Halloween. I was telling my wife the other day, I know my mom, may she rest in peace, she tried to dress me up like a girl one year for Halloween.
We got to see pictures of that, man. That's got to surface the internet one day.
I wish I had pictures of that. but no, she dressed me up like she had me wear some of her heels and like, I mean, we went the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to go into detail. We did though, yeah, and that was really funny.
How old, man? How old?
I was like maybe 8.
Yeah,
8 or 9. Yeah.
I've seen some kids doing the gender bender thing like that about that age. It's not uncommon, but it's definitely funny to see because
oh yeah, man.
I'm gonna look at it from a parent's perspective. They see their kids and if they want to be unique, or they want to try something a little different, and it's inexpensive, first of all, just using your own stuff. So it's just a matter of let's let's put something together, and you're gonna be a girl this Halloween, or you're gonna be a boy this Halloween, and it's gonna be different because that's what it is about Halloween, to have fun, to be a little different, and just to let loose. Like I said, man, just let loose.
Yeah, man, you got to. And Halloween, that's what that's all about, is just being whatever, doing, being who you want to be, and that's kind of the fun part of it. That's the fun part of it, is being able to do that sort of thing. And we would always watch like the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. We used to watch like the Charlie Brown movies. And then I'm a big horror movie person. I love horror movies. So, although my mom didn't really like me watching those movies when I was a kid, I'd watch like Friday the 13th or, like Halloween and a few other horror movies. I used to love watching Ernest Scared Stupid. I love those stupid Ernest movies. Those were so funny. What about you, Victor? Like, what were some of the traditions or things that you did as a kid? And guys, I gotta take this off for a second because yes, it's me.
Dude, that's hot. Huh?
It's me, guys. Oh, there goes
you ended up with bed hair too, man.
Yeah, man.
But you know what? Just real quick before I get into that, guys, all you guys out on YouTube land or wherever, I had green hair last night, green eyebrows and a green mustache and everything, and orange face. But I wasn't gonna get up 1 hour earlier to put that stuff on, so you guys have the half-ass hair today. but I was looking at it right now. I was like, damn, I think I still might have some of that stuff because it's like sticking out like this. Because I was trying to get it to stick out like that, But anyways, in regards to tradition, I think that mine is kind of similar to yours in the sense that my dad was the one that was showing me these movies, man. And same deal. My dad, when I was young, my dad passed away when I was 9. So the early and usually the only memories I really have of him are watching these scary movies with him. And we're talking about movies like Phantasm, I think the first Child's Play was out at that time back in 88 or 89 or whatever it was.
Flicks, yeah.
Those type of movies, and it was always late at night because mom never wanted us to watch that stuff. He's too young for that. Don't show him that crap, But there we are, middle of the night, watching these movies, and it spawned that love of horror, And it was the same type of deal, man. Like, we had a little quick conversation in the pregame show. Yeah, Halloween time was candy time when you're a kid, You want to see what kind of candy you can get. You want to know where to get the most candy. You were out there walking with a trash bag. A little lunch pail, man. I got a trash bag with me, and I'm trying to load that thing up.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt, yeah.
Right, but you know what? It was a different time. Now you can't do that. That's not how it works anymore. So we weren't you're not out until midnight or 1 o'clock anymore, like you were back in the day. That's just a sign of the times, right?
Okay, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because we went out. So what I did for Halloween last night, part of it anyway. We'll get to what I did during the day, but at night, I went out with James, who was supposed to be on the show today, but he had some time. He was out late with his kid last night, so it's cool. We'll have him on. Eventually. But we were out with his kid trick-or-treating, and we were out. And I was like, is it just me, or were when we were kids, didn't we like stay out till like 11 o'clock at midnight?
Yeah, dude, that's exactly how.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm like, man, I remember being out till like midnight trick-or-treating. Yeah. Like, and we lived in,
and there was crowds of people out still at that time. Yeah.
And we lived in the hood, bro. Like that's probably a place. You know what I mean? So
you don't want to be out there at that time, but
no.
Yeah, but I'm in the same boat. I hear you.
But it was so weird. And then and now they do these. I don't think they did them back then, but they do these like hot trick-or-treating hours. I don't even remember having trick-or-treat. What was that back then? Like,
dude, I never heard of that. Really?
I didn't have
trick-or-treating hours.
Yeah, we have. I don't know if you have them there, but we have trick-or-treating hours down here. Like, and it's I think it's different per like town or maybe per county. And because James lives in the same county as I do, and so our hours were from 6 p.m. to 9. I'm like, 9?
Wow,
bro,
really?
I'd be out till like 10 or 11 o'clock, knocking on people's doors and stuff, trying to hit them up for candy. So, and I just remember us never coming home till like midnight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I remember that.
So, I don't know. Do you guys have trick or treat hours there?
Not that I know of, but I'll be honest with you, man. I wasn't planning on going out trick or treating at all this year.
Oh, okay.
It just wasn't in the cards for me. I had told myself, you know what, living in the Los Angeles area, because we went down to LA for my mother-in-law's birthday party.
Yeah.
So we decided to dress up and just, mother-in-law's family, our family, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So we told ourselves, we'll dress up, we'll have a little fun, just, hang out.
Yeah.
But none of this going out because, the LA area is just jam-packed with people. Don't want to run into somebody that, you just don't know, right? So we decided to avoid it.
Yeah.
So we avoided it.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's kind of one thing I want to talk about, because unfortunately, we've had to bring this up in a lot of aspects, but there's still a pandemic going on.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And it has kind of made people have to do things a little differently.
Man.
And I was a little on the side of probably not doing trick-or-treating. Like, I'll tell you this, if I had kids, I would not go trick-or-treating myself. That's just me. Everybody has, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to be a parent. That's just me. And I'm not going to be that person trying to be all like, like
gotta do this, gotta do that.
Like some sort of, I'm not going to be the Karen of Halloween. Okay. I'm not going to go around telling everybody to do, but I went out with my friend, and he was very, he feels the same way about like the COVID and everything and being cautious. And so, we saw some pretty, I will say, irresponsible parents letting their kids group together with other kids they don't know, or maybe they did know them, I don't know. And it was a lot. Like, there was probably groups of like of 10 or more people walking around together, and they didn't have masks on, and some of them had costumes where they didn't have a Halloween, like the one I had on, they didn't have a mask, like on, and they were like going up in groups to the door, which I don't think is a good idea to do. And a lot of the people that were handing out candy didn't have masks on when they were opening the doors. So, I mean, that's kind of not good. So, but I will say there were a lot of responsible people when it even came to passing out candy. They had like tables set up, because what's kind of a popular thing here in Indiana is a lot of people have like two series of steps that go up to their house. And so on the first landing of steps, they would have a table set up, and it would have candy, to prevent people from going up to their door. And they would just tell them, take a couple pieces and stuff like that. And it's kind of a trust system,
Mm-hmm.
So, but what we did was we stayed away from groups. If we were going to go if we were going to have his kid go knock on a door, we waited until everybody was gone, and had him go up and do the deal. And so, I mean, I am pretty disappointed that there were some parents out there who just kind of like, and that's
paid no mind to it.
That's a whole other thing that I don't want to get into, but I mean, just based off what I saw last night, I'm disappointed in some people, let's put it that way. But
yeah, but it's cool. It's cool that you are saying there was some parents out there putting candy out, because
yeah, there were some. Yeah.
Let me just give you a quick thought, because I'm sorry I interrupted.
Yeah,
but,
you're good, man. You're good.
Like Halloween is fun, man. I've always enjoyed Halloween.
Yeah.
And during this pandemic and all this stuff, and you're like, man, how are we gonna do it this year? It's gonna put a damper on our spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we tried not to let it. We still dressed up, still had some fun. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad to hear that there was other parents across the country, doing it. Let's put candy out, because we know there's going to be kids. There's going to be kids that are going to want to do it. There's going to be some parents that are looking for parent perspective. Dude, I'm not going to let this COVID, kill my Halloween. I'm taking my kid out.
Oh,
that's what they could be thinking. I don't know,
Yeah.
So at the very least, I'm glad that there were some parents that were responsible enough to say, all right, we are in a pandemic. Let's do it safely. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like you said, man, it is a little disappointing that there's others that pretty much just said, screw this, let's get into groups of 10, 12, 20 and like march down the street. That's not safe, guys. No. I mean, we're trying to get over this whole thing. And when I hear shit like that, it's like, well, that's why we're still dealing with it, because, it's still going on. So
yeah, the problem is that while we're on this subject, we'll talk about just a little bit, but it's just another one of those things that really shows the stubborn and ignorance of some people, in the sense of, some people just are going to try to live their lives and they're not going to care. And unfortunately, this is a thing where you have to care. You should care about other people, especially children. I mean, I don't want to see kids getting sick from this. I don't want to see, kids give it to their grandparents and something. I mean, there's multiple scenarios, and the thing is that people are gonna have to realize, look, life is going to be different. We're going to have to do things differently for the sake of each other, ourselves, and our kids, most of all, right? And on these holidays, like, we got Christmas coming up. I mean, we got Black Friday. This month.
That was a conversation we had,
and I'm just thinking, how is that even like? Are there, surely these stores are gonna be like, look, I just don't know.
We'll have a whole conversation about this, on the next.
We'll talk about this on a couple episodes as we get closer.
But real quickly, I had this quick conversation with the brother-in-law yesterday, and my understanding is some of the big name stores decided not to do Black Friday for that reason. Yeah. Now, I haven't read up on it, so I don't know if that's true or not. But I think
was at
Target, Walmart.
I was at I was at my local GameStop the other day, and the lady there said that they're closed on Thanksgiving, so they're not doing a day before sale.
Thanksgiving type deal.
They're not doing a Thanksgiving sale, but she said she still didn't know what they were doing for Black Friday. And I'm like, man, you better figure it out because you got 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
at the end of the day, this all fits, man, because it's scary times and it's a scary pandemic, and it's Halloween. So we're talking about scary movies and whatnot, right?
Yeah,
so
dude.
I'm talking about Phantasm. I'm talking about The Exorcist. I'm like 5-6 years old, dude, and I'm watching these movies, and I don't recall if we saw Killer Clowns from Outer Space together.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
And it was those type of B-type, those B-movie types, horrors that really captivated me and scared the shit out of me, to be honest with you, man. Because,
Evil Dead. Hell yeah.
And it was one of those deals where, man, that just spawns the love, man. And I think, after a couple of years, once you get older and you can make your own decisions and you can decide what you're going to watch because, you're not 5 or 6, then, you start watching what you want to watch. And this shit is amazing. And even to this day, man, I will watch scary movies with my kids, and I'll watch them down here with them, because the wife is not big on the spooks. Well, let me rephrase. She is big on the spooks and movie-wise, but then we got to sleep with the light on. I got to make sure I go in there first and everything's cool before she goes into the room.
Wait, for real?
For reals, man. And it's cool because she loves it. She will we'll watch scary movies, we'll watch paranormal movies, we'll watch shows that, and she gets captivated by it. Like, she's amazed by it. But it does get to the mind where it's like, oh, dude, I see shadows now. Like, that's too dark. That's too dark for me. You better go turn the light on for me.
I mean,
it's
those
fun.
movies.
It's a good dynamic.
I mean, those movies affect everybody differently when they watch them, right? So it just kind of depends on what it is. So we watched some movies last night, and this might blow your mind, but I've never seen a Hitchcock movie until yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what did you watch? Psycho?
So we watched Psycho, and then first we watched Rear Window. And Psycho is a classic. It's not a bad movie.
Oh yeah, man.
By any means, but I really preferred Rear Window more because I like investigative type thriller movies, finding out what's going on and kind of put myself trying to put myself in the position of the main character, what's going on. So I loved Rear Window. Now, of course, Psycho, that's a classic, and it was a great movie. But we watched those yesterday. So
that's cool, man.
I watched on Shudder a movie called WNUF Halloween Special, and it's it's a very interesting anthology movie. So, like, for instance, that movie Scare Package, we had Jeremy King on here. So it's kind of like it's an anthology movie, but the way it's presented to you, it's presented like an old 80s public access channel, and that's how
I'm gonna look this up now.
And that's how it's filmed. Like, there's a news station, there's commercials in between. It's just like it's fun. It's a fun movie. It's I liked it a lot.
What did you say it was called? WNUF
Halloween Special. It's on Shudder.
Really?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I liked it. You looking it up?
WNUF Halloween Special. Yeah, this is a 2013 comedy horror film.
Oh yeah, man.
I gotta check that. Oh yeah, there it is. Parody commercials and whatnot.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
That sounds fun, dude.
It's funny.
Yeah, man. We tend to watch certain movies on Halloween Day. You know, like Nightmare Before Christmas is a classic. We catch that when that rolls around. And we stopped watching the Charlie Brown special because, you know, man, I watched that shit like every year for like 15 years straight. So Hocus Pocus is a new one, dude. That's the one that we catch all the time too.
Yeah. Real quick. So I want to talk real quick about Charlie Brown because I'm pissed. Have you heard about have you heard about this yet, Victor? Do you know about this?
Oh, I don't know. Tell me what's up.
Oh man. Freaking Apple, dude. Apple. Have you heard about what they did with Charlie Brown? What Apple did with Charlie Brown?
What Apple do with Charlie Brown now? Why are you messing with my guy?
So Apple bought the rights to exclusively stream Charlie Brown specials on Apple TV. You can
no way,
dude. I kid you not. You can no longer. They will not. They're not allowed to be shown on like broadcast
like CBS or whatever it is.
Yeah. You have.
Dude, that's like a staple of TV during the holiday season. What is Apple doing? That's upsetting. You know what?
Man.
I understand you want to own properties. I get that. It's one of those. This is a deal where you're screwing with holiday traditions now, man. I mean, we're talking about people from the 60s, 70s, you know, sitting down watching Charlie Brown, The Great Pumpkin, you know, and all of a sudden you're gonna snatch that away and be like, you can't watch it unless you own an iPhone.
There's
Apple TV.
There's a rumor that they're gonna go after Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You better not mess with Rudolph.
Oh man, you
don't mess with
tripping me out.
Don't mess with. I'm dead serious, bro. I was talking with my friend about this last night. It's like, dude, do we have to use every little grain of like holiday anything for like commercial purposes now, like to make money? Like, come on, man. Like,
it's free, but it's on Apple TV. You have to have an Apple device.
But you gotta buy an Apple. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you gotta have an Apple device to watch it. Oh, that's crazy, man. Stupid. Don't mess with Charlie Brown.
But yeah.
Those are staples. Like, man, those are holiday staples, you know? Those are, you know, speaking of Halloween, like movies that are always showing on Halloween time, you know, you're talking about Evil Dead, you're talking about, you know, over on TBS, they'll have like the scare stuff back in the day too, where they would have like, you know, all the Child's Play movies are playing. And, or Nightmare on Elm Street or, you know, Halloween, you know, whatever the case may be. But they'll have them streaming for a good chunk of time. And I don't know if it was CBS or Fox or whatever the national broadcasting system, a channel was, that would have all of these classic animated movies back to back, where it would be The Great Pumpkin, and then it would be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Then you'd have Frosty the Snowman, and they were all just played back to back the whole day, you know?
Yeah.
And they just took that from me. I'm not happy about that, Apple.
Yeah, man.
It ripped my heart out, man.
I was gonna ask you, man, what were some of your you know, you talk about Halloween movies, like what are some of your like go to, like, I gotta watch this like for Halloween? Like these are my movies that like I already know that I want to see them. It's just there's no questions asked. What are some of your like classic or favorite go-tos for this Halloween season?
Some of my classics, or I don't even call them classics, I'm gonna call them go-tos. Some of my go-tos that are a staple here is Hocus Pocus for sure. We catch Hocus Pocus down here every year.
That's a definite.
That's a fun one. So we catch that all the time.
Yeah.
We're huge Jack and Sally fans. Nightmare Before Christmas plays. But you know what? The trippy part about that is we don't put it on. We just find it on TV because, you know, half the stations around the world's got that shit playing at one point or another. Yeah. But when we go for scares, dude, the ones I really enjoy, and these might be a little unconventional.
Yeah.
But there's for sure Friday the 13th, the Dream Warriors, which is the third one.
That's a good one.
That one was the one that caught me when I was a kid. That one got me. And I catch that.
That's one of the better ones I think of the whole franchise.
Yeah, I think so too. So the third one is the one that I'll catch because I remember vividly catching that one, and I think my dad was still around when I saw that. Yeah. So I was like, that one sticks with me. Yeah. And the first two Saw movies, believe it or not, the first two ones are ones that I will catch during
really okay
the Halloween season. And I really enjoyed those first two. After that, man, shit got so convoluted. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
they made like 14 of them, and you're like, I don't give a shit no more.
Yeah, I didn't even know, man. So I forget. So the first one was pretty damn good, and the second one was fun too. The one that they were stuck in the house. So those two will catch. And anything else that comes up at that point in time, those are my go-tos. We'll definitely watch those for sure. But some of the Halloween ones, the older ones with Jamie Lee Curtis in them, have been good. We caught the ones that were with Jamie Lee Curtis, the new one. That was pretty good too.
Did you watch you watch the recent one? You watched?
Yeah, I did.
The Halloween.
So that one was pretty good too. That was fun. Yeah. But I try to introduce the kids to some of the more older stuff,
Yeah.
Only because that's the stuff that I grew up. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm so glad that shit's on Netflix right now because I caught that not too long ago. And I'm like, oh, we gotta catch this movie. The wife, of course, is like, we're not gonna watch that. We're gonna watch that like at 2:00 in the afternoon because there's no way in hell I'm catching that.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was like, man, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, man.
Oh, that's an interesting choice. Okay.
It is because as much as it's not considered horror, you can't tell me that
it's Tim Burton.
Scene is not scary as fuck, man.
It's Tim Burton. It's Tim Burton, so like it's odd in that sense, but.
Right? Oh man, I recall, man, when Pee-wee gets pushed in that gurney and they got clowns all over him, and they're like looking over him and shit. That was freaky, dude. So
I would say I would say for me, it's Ghostbusters, dude. Like
really
classic. Yeah. I love my comedies. Ghostbusters is there, and then probably Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, the original, the OG. Friday the 13th, can't go wrong with Friday the 13th, man.
Can't go wrong with that.
Any of those movies really, and then I would say of the classics too would also be A Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one.
Johnny Depp was in there. Yep, getting swallowed up by that bed. Yep, there he is.
Yeah. and then you got Evil. And then you got Evil Dead because I love Bruce Campbell. You can't go wrong with those. The first two. No, the third one was good too because the third one
was pretty good.
He goes back in time and shit, and that's so weird. Like,
you know what? In the third one, it felt like he's going with it. Like, let's just immerse myself in this character and let's just do it.
Yeah, Army of Darkness, I think, is the third one.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness is the third one. Yeah, and those are all really. And then you said Hocus Pocus, which, by the way, they're planning on a sequel. That's going to be on Disney Plus. They're planning a sequel, so that'd be kind of cool to see.
That's cool. I'm waiting for that. I want to see that. Pick an oddball movie, man. What's an oddball that you don't think would be scary / Halloween movie, but to you it is? Who cares? Damn what other people say.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I mean, Creep Show is always good. It's a horror movie though, but it's an anthology. It's like the classic anthology movie.
You just reminded me, dude. I still need to watch that Trick or Treat movie, man. I've heard about that for years, man.
Dude, bro, put everything away and watch. I introduced my wife to that movie. She had never even heard of it before, and she at first thought it was going to be kind of stupid. And then we're watching it. She's like, "Man, it's just so good!" Like,
yeah, it's good, man.
And she likes Sam. She loves Sam, the little.
The little guy with the
little guy with the little bag over his head. Yeah,
and I've been meaning to catch that. I've been meaning to catch that for years.
Oh, I've
been hearing about it, and I just haven't seen it.
That's my go-to. That's
you know what? I'm gonna throw in another one to you. This is not Halloween themed, but it's right up the alley of your investigative type, whodunit type movie films that you like. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you caught this before, but there's this movie called The Orphanage. It's
Ooh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie.
That one's fucking amazing. Yeah, that was a good movie. It's I think it's a Spaniard movie, or it's in Spanish, I think, but it's got English subtitles.
Yeah, it is.
But it's really good. It's a really good movie. But yeah. Anyways, we're big on scary movies, man. The Haunting of Bly Manor. We just caught that on Netflix. I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to the new generation of spooks, man, because you can't go wrong with Friday the 13th. You can't go wrong with Halloween. Child's Play is there. The Phantasm movies are there. We got all kinds of old school movies that paved the way. A lot of the Night of the Living Dead is another one. George Romero laid everything out for us. So I want to see what comes next.
Another really good. Another really good I just remembered this movie. It's a really good psychological horror movie. Silence of the
my
Lambs.
alley, man.
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, I love that one.
Hannibal Lecter. That's just a creepy movie. Like that's just creepy movie. Another really good one too, Victor. If you haven't seen it yet, it's called The Collector. That's a good movie.
I haven't seen that, and I was just talking about somebody about this. Was this the one with Shia LaBeouf?
No.
No? Are you sure?
Yeah. This is it's done by the same guys who did Saw. So I'll put it that way. But it's about a guy who's breaking into somebody's house, and then he ends up finding out like the house has traps.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it's messed up. It's a good
one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I know this movie, and I never caught it. I gotta go see this. I know what you're talking about.
And then my other two favorites for Halloween are three. I got three more. I'll do Poltergeist. That's a classic. You can't go wrong with Poltergeist. And then you've got A Cabin in the Woods. If you have not seen A Cabin in the Woods, that's a great movie. That's such a good. I
love that one.
That's a great one.
Just to be clear, that's the one with that one blink and you miss it scene with all of the characters. I'm gonna say characters in case those haven't seen it. Is that it? Right? Yeah, right.
That's the one.
Yeah. That one was cool.
And then and then I'd have to say the Blair Witch Project. That one's messed up. That's a messed up movie. But yeah, man.
How do you feel? I'm not sure if you're in this genre, but I'm big on Asian horror. Have you seen anything in the Asian horror genre?
Yes, I have.
Those are more of the psychological, vein there.
So I've seen a few, but my favorite. This is gonna be. Now you said you did this. This is actually the best answer for your question. Like something that's comedy, not. You have to watch. This is my favorite Asian horror movie. It's called One Cut of the Dead.
Really?
That is hands down probably the best Asian horror movie I've ever seen. And so the reason why it's called One Cut of the Dead is because the entire first part of the movie was shot in one cut. Like they did the whole entire first half of the movie without any camera breaks.
Nice. I love that type of cinematography. That shit is amazing.
Dude, you have to watch that movie. It is ridiculously good. It's comedy. It's a funny movie, but it's very well filmed. It's very well.
That's cool. I gotta check that out because I'm a huge fan of that. Like I got into the Asian horror genre when I first saw Oldboy.
Ooh, that's a great movie.
It was a great movie.
That's a great movie.
And I caught that and I said, oh, this shit is amazing. And then The Grudge came out in America, and I found out it was a remake of the Asian horror one. So I caught that one.
Ju-on, yeah.
Yep. And then I started venturing off into my own, catching some of those, and saw movies like Audition. I'm not sure if you've seen Audition.
I've heard of Audition, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, Audition is insane, dude.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
And if you do catch it, then you'll know the meaning of kitty, 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 kitty.
What?
Yeah, dude. You say that to some Asian people, they'll cringe, dude, and you'll find out why when you watch that movie.
Oh man, okay.
Anyways, that's a great psychological horror. That's a slow burn.
I love those kind.
That just blows you away at the end, dude. A Tale of Two Sisters is another one that's amazing.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
It's a different type of scary, man. It's a psychological scary.
They like to fuck with your mind.
Like I'm not gonna compare it to anything that's made here in the States because we do have our censorship and there's only so much that we can do and show because that's America.
Yeah.
But movies in the vein of Seven are what I love to see, where it's a whodunit, what's going on, there's a mastermind, some evildoer, doing something that's messing with the bad guys and you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That kind of stuff is cool and I love that. And I guess just to wrap that part up, Knives Out was more of a comedic sense of that.
I have not seen that yet, and I heard that's very.
You haven't seen that?
No,
I've not seen that. Watch Knives Out, man.
I heard that's really good. Yeah, that's
It's
really
good. It's good. That was real good, man. Seeing Captain America in there, seeing he's being a total dick. I was like, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So I have a question for you. So, I'm not a parent. I don't have children. You have children. And I've always, I asked my buddy James this the other day, and I'll ask you this because you have kids of various age ranges. What would you say is the proper age to introduce your kids into watching horror movies? Like what's the like what like and what would you say too to go along with that is a good kind of what would be some good introductory, like, okay, if I'm gonna get my kid into watching horror, when like what age, and what would be a good, like, okay, this is a good first movie for
like the good gateway movie to enter him in there, right?
Yeah,
that's a great question, man.
Yeah, man.
I guess I'll answer it this way. I use Internet Movie Database a lot. What is it? I always got to look at the damn keyboard. IMBD.com.
Yep.
They have, just so you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys know, but if you guys don't know, this is a website that lists all kinds of movies and it gives you, all kinds of info on it.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I go there after every movie because they have a trivia section for all the background bullshit, and I love that stuff.
I do that same thing, yeah.
But in regards to being a parent, there's a small section there called what is it, Parent's Guide or Parental Guidance or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And that's when you click on that, it gives you sex, alcohol, violence, and they rate them from 1 to 10. And they'll even have a small snippet of the scene. So that way a parent can check that out and be like, that's not appropriate. I don't want my kid to catch that. Or you know what, that's okay. Or there's suggestive languages or whatever, Yeah. So that's just a cool little guide for those parents out there that are not sure how to introduce a kid to some movies. That doesn't necessarily need to be horror, but just if you're iffy on it, that's a good tool to have. Mm-hmm. But for me, I think I would follow along the tracks of my dad, and I think the earlier the better, man. and I only think, and the only reason why I say this is because when you're young, you're impressionable, you are. But I also believe that at that point in time, you're not really fully understanding the grasp of what makes it so scary. I think you probably, as a young child, you probably only see, let's just say a jump scare or something like that, and that scared you, but you don't see the psychological aspect of the movie. You don't see what led up to that jump scare. You don't even know why that was there to make it scarier for you.
Yeah.
So that when you go back later, when you're a little older and you catch that movie again, you understand it a little better. So I've always felt that 6, 7, 8 range would be cool to introduce. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to get a movie to introduce them to, let me see. What did I do? I think I went with Child's Play, man. I think I went with Child's Play. I went with the very first one.
It's a pretty good choice.
I went with the very first one because I thought that one was, I guess it's a little tame by today's standards, I guess.
That's what I was thinking too.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's got the psychological stuff. It's got the jump scare stuff. Yeah. There isn't much in blood and guts, Mm-hmm. So I thought that one was a good one. That's a good one to just say, all right, let's introduce you into a horror flick, a moving dolls movie type deal. Because from there you can jump into Dolls, you can jump into Puppet Master.
Yeah.
Now you can jump into those type of movies.
Yep.
But the killer doll movie, genre, I think Child's Play is a good one. It's not too crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just enough to spook the kids, because it spooked the crap out of me when I was a young one.
What was the
over the
top. It's not like it's gory, and there's not like, it's not going to traumatize your kid,
right?
Yeah. What was the first movie you watched what was the very first horror movie you ever saw when you were a kid?
Oof, I don't know, dude. I want to say it was Phantasm.
Ooh,
I want to say it was that one.
That's a mess.
And that one was gory as fuck. Yeah. I think that one was it. But again, nice. You're talking about, dude, back in 86, 87. I was 5. I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
So, I'm probably not the bestest of choice to watch when you're that age. But again, it's just one of those deals where don't really know what's going on, but you see these flying metal balls flying at you. You're tripping out. You're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I want to say that was it, man. I want to say that was it.
So the first movie I ever saw when I was a kid was when I was I used to say I was 4, but I wasn't 4 because it hadn't came out yet. So I was probably 6 or 7 when I saw my very first horror movie, and it was Candyman.
Oh, really?
And Candyman came out in 1992, and I saw it that year. I didn't go to theater, but I saw it later. And that was the first horror movie I ever saw. It was Candyman.
That was a cool movie, man.
Candyman is a psychological horror movie, and that's kind of why I tend to like those more, because you have people. Don't get me wrong. There's a day where I'm like, I want to see some blood and guts. I want to see some gore, man. I want to see people get messed up. But the one way to really get me is by fucking with my head, and I like the psychological shit. I really, that stuff is what I really enjoy more. If you can, because I think it takes as a director. Now, granted, I don't know anything about making movies, but I would have to say that I think it's harder to leave a lasting impression with someone by not having to go to slitting throats and chopping heads off and spilling blood and guts. Because if you can, and I'm not saying that's bad, because I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's a great flick, but if you can get me psychologically and mess with me while I'm watching a movie without having to really spill a lot of blood, because Candyman does that. Like, there's not a lot of blood and guts in that movie. There's some.
Oh, the visuals are amazing.
The visuals are great, but it doesn't like we're not ripping people's heads off and stuff like that. I mean, I like that because I can appreciate the visual effects. Those old. That's one thing I loved about the old 80s movies. We got CGI now and all this shit, to make movies look better and stuff. But man, I'm a fan of, like those old Star Wars movies, how Lucas had to do all this stuff with the costumes. I'm that same way with horror too. Like, when they had to use the old, the old
methods, I guess to say,
the makeup and all that stuff, and actually having to try to make a good horror movie. And I think that's why they struggle sometimes with horror movies today.
Yeah.
Is because, they want to use all that CGI and the technology. I just,
it's a different level of appreciation, man.
So
I get
different,
it,
man.
And I've had that same conversation too with others. Is that it's so much different now because now it's CGI, and because it's CGI, it automatically triggers a thought in your head that it's fake. So it's not like The Exorcist, when Linda Blair had to contort her body to do whatever she had to do, and that spooked people because they're like, how did they do that? I think that's the important question, is how did they do that? And nowadays it's CGI. Oh, no biggie then.
Yeah.
But yes, those psychological horrors, I completely agree with you, because I think that if a director can get me to think about their movie once the credits roll, then they did an amazing job. You know what I mean? Because I'm still thinking about it. I'm still talking about it. I'm over here asking you, hey, did you catch this? That shit was fucking amazing. Go catch this.
Yeah,
you gotta talk about this.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that's really good, and that resonates with you, and it sticks with you.
It really does.
And you don't see many directors take that route, because a lot of directors now want to do the blood and guts, the gory, because they figure that stuff equals, scary. Like kind of like Eli Roth type stuff, Hostel.
Yeah, but that's a good movie. I mean? I forgot about Hostel. That's a good movie.
Hostel's a good one too.
Messed up. That's good.
Those are movies like that. I think they call, what's the genre for that, man? I think it's called like torture porn, right? Is that it?
Something like that. Yeah, they're
something like that.
Yeah, they're very bloody and disturbing.
Very gory. Yeah.
Disturbing movies. They're very disturbing movies. Like
I know I was in a phase with that stuff for a while. I caught the Hostel films.
Too. Yeah.
There's another film called Turistas. I'm not sure if you've seen that.
Mm-mm.
That one was in the same vein of that. That was pretty good too.
Yeah.
But anyways, you know, the psychological horror stuff, man, that's the stuff that sticks with you. You start talking about it. You start saying, hey, did you catch this? That was so cool.
Yeah,
and if you can do that without the blood and guts, man, fucking mastermind. Simple as that.
Oh, easy.
It's crazy, dude, right?
Easy. So one thing before we go, I gotta ask you, what was like when you would open up your candy bag when you were a kid and you get candy, what was the most disappointing thing you would see in your candy bag that you were like, man, really? Like, I'll tell you something messed up last night.
Really?
I'll tell you something messed up last night, but you go ahead. I'll let you.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, the most disappointing thing in my candy bags. Okay, and now let's list some of the stuff we would get as a kid. Even today, I get.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So look, we've gotten oranges. That's not the worst for me.
Oranges?
Oranges, apples. I've gotten apples.
Apples, okay.
But that's not the worst, dude. We've
No,
gotten
that's
toothbrushes.
not
We've gotten toothbrushes.
Toothbrushes, yeah. I talked to my wife and I talked about that the other night.
It's not the worst in my opinion. That's not the worst.
No.
That's not the worst. There's also been some pennies, some coins. I've gotten coins. That's not the worst, dude.
You got money?
In my opinion,
like coins?
yeah,
that's weird.
like coins, dude.
Dang.
The absolute worst thing that I have ever found in my candy bag to this day, today, candy corn.
Yes. Thank you. Candy corn sucks, and it's terrible.
My wife loves the stuff.
Oh, what?
Dude, I kid you not. Every year when Halloween rolls around, I go to Walmart and I'll get my wife a bag of candy corn because she loves this stuff. Me, get that shit away from me.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. There's a Facebook group. Have you heard of it? I don't know if you've heard of this or not, but there's a Facebook group and it's called a group where everybody angry reacts corn.
Really? Yeah.
I'll have to send you an invite. It's pretty. No, I'll send you an invite. But it's
send it to me.
But it's great because all people do are just send pictures of corn, and everybody angry reacts to it.
That's the age of the internet.
My wife told me about it, and I entered it, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty sweet. But
that's funny.
Candy corn, absolutely top tier disappointment on the candy. You know what the other thing I hated was? The other thing I hated was those stupid fucking Smarties. I hate Smarties.
I love Smarties, man.
Oh no.
No bullshit. Yeah, they taste like chalk, but
Dude, yeah, they do. Dude, if I want Rolaids, I'll have some of my grandma's Rolaids. I don't need these pretend fake candy version of. Oh, those are so nasty. God, it's so bad. They're
not the greatest. They're not the greatest. You know.
But I'll tell you something.
I love eating those shits, man.
But I will tell you something that I saw in my buddy James, his son's candy bag. We were going because we went back to his house. I dropped him off, and then I said, "Let's see what you got," you know. And dude, I've never seen anybody give out crackers, dude. Fucking crackers, like just like
they weren't Cheez-Its. They weren't Cheez-Its or anything like that.
Oh no, they were just like saltines,
like saltine crackers. Dude, bro, that's so funny, dude.
I'm like, wait, what? Like, what am I supposed to eat? You gotta at least give me a little gallon of milk or some shit. You go.
That is funny. I've never seen that.
Dude, crackers, man.
That's funny. Let's switch it. What's the opposite, dude? Like, what's like the? Oh man, I scored, man. I scored.
What's the god tier candy?
The god tier stuff, man.
It's full size candy bars, dude. Like I'm talking, like right? You know, when you have that neighbor, and you're like, hey, go to that house, man. Like they give them the good shit. Like you get the full. I mean,
none of this fun size shit.
When you get like the Reese's peanut butter cups or the Reese's Halloween things, you know, they make the Halloween pumpkins. Those are the bomb. Those are like top tier. Kit Kat
Reese's,
bars,
man.
Hershey's chocolate bars, you know, those are the god tier candy.
Anything Reese's, dude.
Jolly Ranchers are the bomb. Those are always good. Those are always a good one. Tootsie Rolls, can't go wrong with those. Oh man, the list goes on and on. This is so many good things.
Dude, yeah, anything Reese's for me is gonna do it. Almond Joys can suck it. Throw that shit away.
Oh, dude, Almond Joys. Get that shit out of here. You don't want that.
Get that shit out of here.
Almond Joys. Oof.
I can't have Almond Joys, dude. No, those are good stuff. The Snicker bars are always popular too.
Oh man, Butterfingers.
If I can get a Butterfingers, yeah. If I can get myself a good full size bar of those, man, I'm good to go.
Hell yeah, man.
Just fill my shit up with that, and that's it. You get $1. There's a couple of online, memes and stuff like that. Like, well, when the kids get home, they're like, dude, where are all my recess? Fucking chocolate all over my face. I ate them already, dude. That's that's daddy tax right there, guys. I took my piece. This is all you.
Yeah, man. Me walking you around, you're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to collect on that later.
Yeah, that's something that I would do with the kids when they were younger, dude. I would call it daddy tax. Daddy tax, guys. What you guys got? Let me see. Daddy tax. And I would take a small portion of whatever they got. That way they already know. When you guys get older, man, that's going to be the government taking a small portion of what you got. Daddy tax.
So I'm going to teach my kid about taxes. So for every neighborhood we walk down, I get 10% of your candy.
Right. And I get to pick what candy I want.
I like that. No, it's okay, son. This is a learning experience. You're gonna have to do this later, so you might as well do it now.
I'm not taking it from you. That's just what I'm entitled to.
You're just entitled. It's how this works. I like that. That's a very great way to do that.
Yeah, we would do that all the time, dude. We do daddy tax, mommy tax. Then the kids, the older ones, started to do big brother tax. Get some popcorn from their thing. Like, oh. But yeah, dude, it's fun. Again, you got to make life fun,
Oh, you do, man. Speaking of that, so yesterday, I didn't tell you guys what the wife and I did during the day.
Oh yeah, what's up?
We did something. I got to do something I always wanted to do, and I never had done it before, and it's been a bucket list item for me for a long time. It's something that I've seen other people have, and I've appreciated the art. I got my first tattoo yesterday.
Nice.
And
can you show that off? Is it
anywhere man? Yeah,
we can. Family friendly.
See that, yeah. So I got.
Oh, nice. That's Jason. Awesome.
He's a little bloody because I just got it yesterday, but
that's cool, man.
I think it adds to the mask. Anything else? But
that's amazing.
But yeah, man. Like I said, Friday the 13th is one of my favorite holidays. Well, it's a holiday too, but but it's one of my favorite movies. I've always liked Jason, the iconic mask.
The mask.
And yeah, man, they did a great job. Big props to the people at Hard Life Tattoos over in Louisville. That's where I got done at. You guys are awesome. It was I can't say it was painless because there's some, but it wasn't anywhere near what I thought it was going to be. It was great. They did a great job. I was in and out of the chair in probably about 10-15 minutes tops. By 20. Cool. It wasn't bad. My wife got a tattoo. She got a little skull bat on her forearm, which looks really cool. And yeah, that's going to be my shop, and I'm definitely getting some more work done. That was really cool. So
get addicted. Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
Oh man,
a conversation beforehand. Once you get that first one, you're like, dude, I gotta get a second one.
Oh yeah, man.
I gotta go get another one.
Oh, I'm gonna get some gamer stuff done on my right.
So. I'm gonna get the Hylian shield on my forearm with the wing sticking out of it. I'm gonna get that with the sword going through.
Yeah,
I already have the image. I already have it printed up and everything. I just gotta go get it done.
Nice.
But I'm gonna ask you this because this is what stopped me from getting it so far is again, COVID's fucking everything up for us. So what was the procedure? How was it to get that stuff done?
Yeah. So we went in and they had people social distanced. It was good. They weren't letting a lot of people come in, and they were actually surprising. So they had a Halloween special where it was like you had a selection to choose from, and they were cheaper than normal. So I got a really sweet deal on this one, especially since it's got some colorization in there. And you had to wear a mask. The tattoo artist wore masks. So that was nice. And then normal stuff like gloves and stuff like stuff because we're dealing with blood and people's bottle, stuff like that. So I didn't feel like I was in any danger. I mean, I felt very comfortable there.
Appointment only, walk-in?
You can do a walk. Well, it's an appointment, but they were so dead yesterday when we got there that they were just like, just take a seat.
Just come in.
And we're waiting for a couple more of our artists to come in, and we'll get you taken care of. And we weren't there that long, so it was. That's cool, man. Good. I mean, it was clean, friendly, great place. Definitely going to go back there again and do more.
Yeah, I've had my reservations, but again, I've had discussions with you.
I would say, what I usually do when we go somewhere, and especially now with unfortunately things getting worse again, like it's going back up again in different places. We always try to kind of scope out the place, like especially if we're going to eat somewhere, because I've done dine in at places before. Like there's a couple sushi places we really like around here. I'm a big sushi guy, and there's some really great restaurants here for that do a fantastic job with like spacing people out, and the waiters and stuff wearing masks. There were a couple restaurants that we did go to. One restaurant chain in particular that we went to that we were very disappointed with because it was they weren't social distancing at all. They didn't have they didn't have dividers up. I think they should have to have those dividers up in between booths and stuff. They were letting people sit at the bar, not social distance. It was I honestly did not feel comfortable really being in there. They had put us in a corner booth, so we didn't really feel like we were close to anybody, but I mean, it was. Yeah,
that's crazy though.
And the weird part was this restaurant chain, they had they didn't. The weird part was like they did take a COVID-19 measure where you had to have a mask to get in there. You can't just you're not supposed to just walk around. But of course, when you have like hundreds of people in this restaurant and they're not wearing masks when they walk around or go to the bathroom and stuff. But the hostess station was outside the door, and they were making people wait outside as opposed to waiting inside. But then when you get inside, it's kind of like, oh, it's all bets are off.
So you're free reign. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what if you're doing
what's going on?
This, but why are you not doing that? It just
sounds half-assed, dude.
It was weird.
That sucks.
It's weird shit. But yeah, we always try to. Anytime we go somewhere, we try to be a little on the caution side. Like, there's times where I've gone to Goodwill. And I mean, if there's just too many people, I'm just like, I'm out. I gotta get out.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't, and that's what I would encourage people to do is for any holiday, like Halloween or, we have Thanksgiving coming up. I know a lot of people have already canceled their family Thanksgiving stuff.
Yeah,
because some family doesn't all live in the same state. Sometimes they come from other states, and some people I know have already canceled their family plans with their relatives and stuff like that. It sucks. I mean, it sucks that, this is what we got to do, but you got to do what you got to do, man. I mean, especially if you don't feel comfortable, doing it. Right.
It's like I said, man, it's fucking scary time. So it fits with the theme, but yeah. But it's horrible, dude. It sucks. It's fucking with a lot of people's plans, family, and I'm always curious when, someone like yourself, you went out to go get a tat. So I was like, oh, so how did that work for you? How was that environment? And I understand that not all environments are going to be the same, but still, I just would like to know.
Oh yeah,
how that was, just to make sure that if I go check it out, I can.
I mean, I would just scope out your tattoo shop, go give it a look through. I mean, the one we went to was very spacious anyway, and I know a lot of some shops. Even now, see, I was even before COVID, I was a little like, we're dealing with needles and people.
Yeah.
And so this isn't like I'm going to the doctor because when you go to a doctor's office, there is a
sterilized and everything
of like everything needs to be clean, right? So and I've gone to tattoo shops before. I've seen people get work done and stuff like that, but I've always been really picky about it because I'm a picky person anyway. Ask my wife. And but we went into this place and very clean, probably the most clean tattoo shop I've ever been into.
That's cool.
Probably one of the biggest tattoo shops I've been into.
Yeah, I think space is
very
important.
Spacious,
Make sure.
especially now. And the way they had the booths spaced out was. I mean, that's I guess that's how they have them normally set up anyway. But it was nice. It was great. I didn't feel any level of like uncomfortableness or.
That's cool. I'm
very
glad.
comfortable.
I'm glad to hear that.
So for those of you that are maybe looking to get a tattoo done or, even I guess you could say the same for like getting your hair cut or something like that too. I mean, just
it's all in the same vein, dude.
Just feel it out. You know, you don't go during a different time of day. You know, especially probably like if you're off during the week, and go during the day when there's nobody there. If you're uncomfortable with that sort of thing, so it's just a kind of like trial and error, basically figuring out what's comfortable for you. Because what might be comfortable for me might not be comfortable for you. So
yeah, that's right.
So,
as you can tell by the restaurant where people are fucking, hanging out together and they're comfortable that way. But sorry, dude, I'm not,
Yeah.
But anyways, just wanted to see your experience, see what's going on.
No, man, that's a great question to ask. I mean, we have to do things differently. We talked about this earlier with the trick or treating and stuff. Life is going to be different. There's going to be things that we're just not going to do the same. I mean, that's just kind of the evolution, if you will, of society. When it's cause and effect. When something happens, it's kind of like what Tom Cruise said when he was on our show a couple weeks back. It's that Darwinistic ideal of we got to fight to survive, right? And not just let things happen to us and pretend like we can do the same thing.
Deal with it. Yeah.
We got to do things differently to evolve and move on, or you're just going to get stuck behind, and you're going to,
for lack of a better phrase,
you'll deal with the consequences.
Get weeded out.
So I mean, just be cautious, just err on the caution side.
Just be safe, friends. Be smart.
Be safe out there, man. We got holidays coming up. That's kind of why a lot of people are, they're saying about these increasing cases and stuff. Because it's this holiday season. I know, this has been a hard year for everybody, and we've had to socially distance and do things in a way that you don't normally want to. I'm an extremely
unconventional. Yeah,
I'm an extremely extroverted person, so trust me, I get it. I'm right there with you. It sucks a lot of times, but if I can do this now, I won't have to do it later, right? So that's my whole
mentality.
That's the whole mentality I've had is if I do this now, I don't have to do it as much later. And I'd rather do it now than not have to be here again next October and have to do the same thing, but even worse. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's right, people. We got plans. We're supposed to go meet up in Indy sometime soon. So
I know, man.
Let's get together, people.
We got stuff to do, man. We got shit to do. We got people to see, man. I don't want to be
people to see, places to visit. Come on.
Yeah, I got some traveling I want to do, man. But yeah, man. But thank you guys. That's all the time that Victor and I have today for this episode of the.
Man, I wish I had the face paint on, but
no, you're good.
I wasn't gonna get up at 5. Some shit to do it. Screw that.
But you guys have a great rest of your week and stay safe. I know we got the election coming up tomorrow.
That's right.
And so we got it's gonna be a really man, I don't know, but hopefully things work out how they America should.
Decides, right?
We'll see what they decide, and y'all stay safe out there for real. Be careful, stay safe, and until next time, we'll see you guys
later, guys.